it's me again. You like that, right? I'm back, as if you were expecting somebody different. I'm back with my good buddy, Ray. She's over here. And as usual, we have conversations over shisha that we're like, this should be a podcast. This should be a podcast. So we finally gave in and put together a Notion page where we're putting all our ideas together. There's way more ideas than hours in the universe for all the stuff that we would love to talk about. So we filtered and we prioritized. Today, I think today's talk is going to be something that's controversial, but very, very relevant. Very relevant.
Yeah.
We're talking about friendships, not relationships. That's going to be another peg and another jump that we definitely need to have another discussion about, right? But friendships have gotten very tricky and very interesting. And I want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly about friendships.
Yes.
So before we get in, quick intro, please.
Yes. My name is Rahaf, founder of Raise Your Mental Health, and I raise a lot of awareness on mental health and well-being, especially for men. My mission is to bridge the gap between awareness and action. Yes.
Great. Let's get started. This would be the perfect time to insert a word from our sponsors, but since we have none, I'm just going to say drink more water, be more healthy.
And a healthy smoothie.
Have a good smoothie. Great, great. So let's talk about it. What's the problem? Why don't we have, good friends? Or are all friends good? Or are they not?
You see, that's what I like about our conversations is every question roots more questions to it. Like when you said, why don't we have good friends? I'm like, define good friends.
Yeah, so I think that's a perfect place to start.
Define good friends, because what a good friend might be for you might be something else for someone else. But if we were to just, list traits, that should be in a healthy friendship. A good friend would be someone who would take you as you are.
Okay.
Not wear the hat of a fixer.
Agreed.
That's a tough one to answer. You don't have to have similar interests or hobbies but you have to have at least 2 or 3 core values aligned in harmony, because that will leave less space for misunderstandings, judgments, the blaming war. Why haven't you called? Why haven't you picked up? Why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? Come with us. And there would be lots of accountability in the friendship.
Ooh, I like that. I think accountability is something people skip.
Yes, again, I'm describing what I would love to see in a friend, because I am that friend.
Yeah.
Accountability is very important, because I don't need a friend anymore. I'm not in high school. I need someone to call out my bullshit when I do something wrong. And again, underline the word wrong. Wrong means harmful.
Yes.
It doesn't mean wrong to you.
Yes, not your opinion.
Just a disclaimer.
Wrong.
Because wrong means I'm doing things that are harmful, that are not aligned with my path, my journey, my values, whatever it is. So someone, to hold me accountable, someone to push me out of my comfort zone without being pushy.
I hear you on that.
Yeah?
I like it. How you, and I have, I think all of us look at things from different perspectives. And, one of the reasons you and me have great conversation is we're able to hear each other's perspective. And in some cases we relate to it. In some cases it's something
we
new. and there's things we disagree on, but it's always entertaining. For me, it's very entertaining to find things that we disagree on, because then you back it up with some explanation. I back mine up with some explanation, and gives us great.
But we never project.
No. I think that's part of being a good friend.
That's part of being a good friend, not to project your insecurities, your thoughts, your limiting beliefs on your friend.
Agreed. And not just project, not to even impose your belief. I respect you for you. I respect the space, and I expect same vice versa. So For me, I think my approach to friendship, and again, we're talking about the same coin, different sides to it, right?
Mm.
So my approach to friendship has always been based on, trust and, and respect. These are, for me, trust and respect are foundation blocks.
But here's my question to you. Let's say you met someone, okay? Potentially a good friend. You could see it. Is the trust natural, or they have to earn it?
No. So this is. I think this is just me now, right? I'm not telling how the world should.
No,
I'm sharing
you.
So for me, if I meet anybody that I have not met before, we walk in 0-0. No negative, no positive. Neutral. I walk in with a neutral level. And for me, trust and respect needs to be earned both ways. There needs to be reciprocity when it comes to respect. And that's not like, oh, you need to do something for me.
No, I hear you.
Just something with, normal channels of communication. Am I, communicating with this person and they communicating back with me? Respect, okay, great. Is this person ghosting me or whatever? Or there's something off. These are immediate, I don't want to say red flags, but these are immediate incompatibilities, which tell me it's not going to work. So for me, respect and trust is something that we walk in with neutral and then we build. And the more we build, the better quality interaction we can have. So this is the first thing for me. The second thing for me is an understanding of how life is designed. Life is designed to be a journey, right? It's not designed to be destination-based, because the destination is a hole in the ground. Let's be real. So if I'm going to live my life, and this is the journey of my life can be measured in minutes. And what we know with the physics of the universe.
When you said that to me
with the first time. Yes, and the physics of the universe tells me I can't pause it, and I can't undo or repeat it.
Or borrow it, or lend it,
or any of it. So this is the physics of the universe, that time is that constant that I can't change. Yeah. So in this journey, I measure my life in the minutes. And in the minutes that I find value in spending with somebody else. So in this journey, our paths may overlap. If I find that in this overlap, I find spending those minutes to add value to me, not like, oh, I'm making a business connection. No. Add value to me in, does spending time with this person bring me peace? Does it bring me joy? Does it add to my, does it feed my soul? Does it feed my brain?
Yes.
I have a friend, and I've told him, a couple of times we sat, and I was like, I got to tell you something. These are minutes well spent. But not only that, today it was beyond minutes well spent. This was spinach for my soul. You remember from Popeye?
So what was different?
Quality of interaction. So, and I think that gets to my third thing. So first, it's how I'm planning to spend minutes of my life, how I'm planning to share my life with you. Because, not to sound like an ass, but everyone should consider that as a privilege. I consider it a privilege, not that me spending time with you, but you consider me of enough value that you want to spend your time with me. Wow. But then when that goes both ways, this is wow. And in this, the third thing that I have is, for me, I'm a visual thinker. So I have always visualized friends as these concentric circles that expand outwards, right? And the reason that this circle model works so well for my brain is because I can visualize how and where different people are put in that perspective. If you're closer to me, you're in the closer circles. And if you're not that close to me, and then, we go further rings, outside, and then you're some acquaintance.
I don't know why I saw Dubai
opera seating. Well, think of it the same way.
Yeah.
So the further out you get, the circle gets bigger, which means there's space for more people.
Yes.
I have check my LinkedIn, I have a gazillion acquaintances. Somebody I met at a conference, somebody else. Okay, this is fine, we're not buddies. But the closer you get, the space is physically reduced, which tells me there's not a lot of people I can put in each one of those circles.
Sure.
And for me, and this is the same thing I tell my clients as well, and people that I talk to, is if you've got one, maybe two in that circle that's the closest circle to you, that's enough.
Oof, more than enough, no?
And not just is it enough, you're lucky that you even found one or two that you could put there.
Yes.
And here, this is for me, somebody to get to that circle. Again, it's two ways, right? No, you can't get to that piece of that circle unless I get to that same circle with you and vice versa. And people shift in and out. But to get there, building on respect, building on trust, then there needs to be the synergy, you know, where you have alignment. And a lot of it starts with what you said, alignment in values, alignment in the way we think, respect for the differences that we may have and what we think about. But you will, you know, perhaps get to know somebody, and with time, and we're all human, nobody's perfect, we all have our eccentricities, but with time you'll realize that, wait a second, this person's alignment and my alignment are, oops, okay, and it's perfectly
and it's okay.
See, this is where the trouble is. You and me understand that it's okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people will either change themselves,
or take it personal,
or create a conflict, or ignore a red flag, or see a red flag when it's not their red flag. And now we're talking about friction.
And people pleasing.
Oh, don't get me started. People pleasing to me is putting people in circles where there's no space, and now you're just creating trouble.
It's okay to outgrow friendships. It's okay to say thank you for all the minutes, but I think now it's time for us to just have...
Our journeys are different.
Our journeys are different, but I root for you, but you don't have to be in my life and vice versa.
Yes.
That is okay. And I am one of those people who had to learn that in a very hard way, because for me, friendships are for life.
Yes.
But no, actually they're not. And it's okay to love someone. Again, we're talking about friendships and not have them in your life. So that is completely okay. The second thing that I wanted to, I don't know if you have the answer for that, but let's see. I've always been jealous of men's friendships. Why? What is the science behind that men's friendships last longer than us women?
Well, I can't comment on the women's side, and anyone who's known me...
Just tell me your side of the story, the men's side, because I love your friendships, guys.
So I think a lot of
You're loyal. Here's what I find in men's friendships.
I was going to say, before I answer, tell me what your perspective is.
Most of them, and again, most of them, they're loyal. It doesn't matter if it was 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. If you receive a call from that friend, you'll be there for him in a minute, if not in a second. You would lie for him. You would be his emergency contact number, not for 1 year, for 15, 20 years, and it wouldn't change. You would go through hell and above together and still be great friends. Even when you argue, the arguments are so funny that you might either forget what you argued about, or it would just, listen, let's not go there, let's not do this, we're not like that, or whatever it is, and you remind yourselves, and when I say you, I mean most of the men that I see around me, they remind themselves of the bond. Again, as per my observation, women don't do that. So men's focus is on the bond and the history. Okay. Women's focus is different.
Okay. We'll come
and
back.
I love your smile. Tell me.
I'm gonna pin you on the women's part in a second. So let me tell you from my experience in life, right? I think guys are, reasonably transparent with what's going on with them. They will say
there's no hidden agendas.
They will say what they say. They will say what they feel. They're very upfront about it. Hey, bro, it's not cool.
It is not
cool. It's you get what you see type of scenario for most guys, right? Not everybody, but most. Now, in that context, you very quickly, because there is honesty and there is no false projection and image creation or whatever, I don't know. It just, this is who I am. Exactly what you see is who I am. I'm not playing games, right? So very quickly, you're able to build on that trust and respect. Yeah. You're very quickly able to understand that, hey, does this person, the way they think and the opinions that they have about whatever's going on, does it align with mine? And very quickly, you're able to kind of get to the point where you realize, oh, I enjoy spending time with this person. And then it's kind of like, tick, 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 tick the boxes. Okay, done, we're friends. Right?
It's so easy.
And but the nice thing is, and I think this is one side of it, to figure out who the friends are going to be for the guys. And then again, understand that those circles still apply. Not everyone is going to immediately jump to be your close friend. Wherever they go in those concentric rings, right? But once that's kind of established, that groundwork is kind of established, and you know, yeah, this person vibes the same way, this person thinks the same way, we joke about the same stupid shit. You know, okay, once that's done, okay, we're friends, we're bros, got it. Now what happens after that point is, this is established, and this is done. Now, something really stupid has to happen for that to break, right? So, up and until it breaks, we're friends by default. Now, that can mean,
but even
I haven't seen you in a couple of years. I haven't talked to you, whatever. Okay, fine, but that was already established. Yeah. We shook hands on it, we, fist bumped, we're friends. Does that mean I have to see you every day? And if I don't see you every day, our friendship diminishes? No, I don't think most men think like that.
They don't.
And there's kind of this unsaid bro code, we support each other because that's considered the default. To support each other, that's the default.
Yeah.
I get a call. This is nothing new. I get a call from somebody. Hey man, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. You want to go out for a bite to eat? Sorry man, I'm stuck with this. Don't worry about it.
No, the code that I clapped for was different.
No, I'm getting to that, right? I'm just giving you a small example. So this friend did not feel disrespected or like, oh God, I invited him out. You want to go? No, okay, I was busy. He was busy. No big deal. And I'll call him later, or he'll call me again. Maybe I don't call him back. He calls me again a couple of days. Hey man, what are you doing tomorrow? You know what? Tomorrow's good. Let's go for chicken wings or whatever. And the other thing is, I think most guys bond over food. and people who don't like food, I don't like food.
90% of guys.
I've already said this before. I don't like guys who don't like food, but that's a different topic. So that bonding is there. I'll get a call. Hey man, what are you doing? Nothing. Sitting at home. This is like 12 midnight, right? Everything, literally everything.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait, everything okay? Yeah, well, one of my friends, now I don't know this guy, one of my friends is having a problem with their car, and is this something you, like, I don't know, jumpstart the car?
Yeah.
Can you help? I'm like,
of course.
I'm on my way. Do you want me to pick you up, or are you going to pick me up, or are we going to be, so I'm not even discussing, are we doing this? We're already discussing the logistics of how we're going to.
You're a movie person.
Fix this person. Yes, I am.
I don't know what the movie, I forgot it, of course. But there's a scene for Ben Affleck asking his friend, you knew it?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. I don't remember the exact words, but it was something along the lines of,
like,
bro.
I need help, but you don't get to ask questions. And he's like, whose car?
And he's like, hey man, I need a shovel and plastic sheet.
Yes. And
the guy doesn't ask why. He says,
whose car we're taking?
Whose car are we taking, and when do you want me to be there?
So that's the bro code.
That's bro code right there.
And when?
And this is a challenge, by the way.
Oh, I know.
No, here, I'm telling you right now. You could find, most guys, by the way, have at least one or two guys that they can call and say, I need you. I can't tell you for what, but I need you to get here. Bring a shovel. Bring rope. Bring duct tape. Bring whatever random thing that comes to you.
Asked.
Literally, the only question will be asked is, what time and what location?
What happened? Tell me. What did you do?
There will not be a question.
And another thing about bro code, yes, I do have experience in bro codes, is that even when or if the friendship ended, there's no backstabbing, there's no shaming, there's no name calling, and there's no gossip.
I think that's not just about guys. I think, and now I want to make a little bit of a distinction. You can be born a man, but you need to be raised to be a gentleman. And this is very important, and this is reflective of a gentleman.
Yes.
Not only will he never talk bad about a falling out with a guy friend, he will never back talk about even his ex-girlfriend.
I was just going to say.
Or ex-wife. Never. This is because he's a gentleman.
Yes.
Right? And this is, again, goes back to what I told you about respect.
Yes.
You can't have respect with somebody who doesn't even understand what respect means.
True. Right?
So this is all part of the default bro code. Anybody who's doing something other than this, they're out of the code. They're the outliers. You're dismissed. But this is exactly right. This is exactly right. And and I'm not telling you these stories from something I've seen. I've lived all of these stories my entire life.
Dude, I'm not a man, and I know.
My entire life. I can give you examples as 3 days ago. I'll give you an example from this morning. We had to go to a meeting, and one of my friends messaged me, have you left? I'm like, I'm about to leave. Okay. And I replied, everything okay? He's like, yeah, I just wanted to make sure we get there together because I'm really not too keen on going to this thing. But if you're going to be there, then we'll go together. I'm like, bro, I got you. I'm there in 3.5 minutes. Why? Because my buddy did not want to go alone to this thing. And honestly, I didn't want to go alone to this thing either. So we sat, and he actually, I got there like maybe 30 seconds after he did.
Mm.
And guess what? He saved me a seat without me asking. He goes, bro, got your seat. I'm like, thanks, man. Because now we can lean and gossip together while the event is going on. This is something that the guys don't actively think about. This is just the default.
Yeah, true.
This is just how we are.
I'm so grateful I have a friend, and she's a woman.
Yeah, I mean, even to the point, and this is going back a while, when I remember high school and college, and my friends were dating and whatnot, and different things would happen, and it would just be part of bro code. You know, the basis is respect, that you're not going out with somebody's ex.
You're literally.
These things do not, for us, do not need to be said. They do not need to be said.
Well.
And in that, you know, 1 out of a billion who decides to do something stupid, everyone's like, yeah, you have been excommunicated from the male species. Go away. Not cool.
Function. From the factory.
Yes, you defected. Go back. Not cool. Not cool. You know, and this, not even this. I mean, every single thing. And you know, with discussions with you, I've realized that the other side of that fence is significantly different. We're talking about women. I've got groups and, you know, WhatsApp groups in my phone. I was telling you about it last time also. It's for off-roading and camping. That's what the group has been created for, right? But I'll wake up in the morning and there'll be like 2 messages. Hey guys, there's a really good stock investment opportunity. Look into this. And then somebody's like, I don't even know how to do this. Don't worry. Go to this website.
Yeah,
read
we
about
would have
this.
just invested in stay shut.
Use this platform. Do this. Oh, you know what? Call me when you're free. I'll explain it to you. So
we wouldn't tell.
That's the fault.
We wouldn't tell.
So when you have told me all the things you've told me, I was like, okay.
I was blessed to be surrounded with men. Not now while I work with them. No, even before. My friends were men. My guys they're all men. So I would like to think that maybe I caught up some things from them. So
I see part of the bro code.
When I see, I'm very loyal to the bro code. That's why when I see other girls, it would be for me like, what am I doing here? Why are they like that? Why do they think like that? So to give you an example, they have this need to share everything.
I'm not going to comment on this stuff. I'm going to get in trouble.
No, you please do, because why? Why do I have to share everything with you? That has nothing to do with trust or love or our friendship, or some things I would like them to stay private. It has nothing to do with you. No, you're my best friend. There's no such thing as best friends anymore. So we went out of the topic, but there's a line between what friends are, or what friends should be,
yes, and
what they are these days. That's why if you go to Facebook, okay, and just go and explore those groups, you would be amazed of how many women, and this is really serious, they would share anonymously because they don't want to be judged. I feel lonely. I can't make friends. This is what I like to do. Anyone would like to hang out. Plenty of messages. Yes, that. And then, assuming she's the same person, like a lot of you didn't really follow up.
Oh, yeah.
So
the interest, but no follow-up.
And then I would think to myself, if that was a man asking that question, by now they would have been celebrating their weddings.
Oh no, if it was guys, they'd be like, hey man, I'm on my way. Would you mind if I bring another friend?
They would have met their moms, they loved her, you know what I mean? So what is it? I used to think it was envy, jealousy, insecurities. We were taught wrong, we were raised wrong. But now these days, I find no excuse for a woman not to level up, not to break that limiting belief, not to wish well for another woman. Remember what I said to you on International Women's Day. I don't like that day because of that. Because I see a lot of women talking shit behind a woman's back, not wishing her well on her business, not supporting her business. She would go to another business and not support her friends. Referrals come from strangers; they don't come from friends.
See, this I never understood this. I do
Where's that culture coming from?
I do so much startup advisory, and I never understood this, and I still don't understand this.
We had that conversation.
I know, and I'm still telling you. I know you're telling me. I believe you. And not only that, I see it myself also.
I would feel safe to ask for help from a man rather than a woman, except for my best friend. But you know what I mean? It's sad.
So I think this circling back to our core discussion about friendships, and this is a very nice illustration that tells us that not all friends are the same. We talked about a very, very easy to see gender difference between the styles of friendships. But first of all, not all friends are the same. And this is important to understand. But I want to kind of get into another thing about toxic friends. Because what I see so many toxic friendships, and my brain is like, are you blind? Can you not see what I see?
Do we have time?
Like what? What is going on here?
Oh, yes.
Talk to me.
Yes. No, you tell me first, because I could go on and on and on. And
so,
on.
Okay, from my experience and what I've seen is, you seldom get to a point, at least for the guys, you seldom, and I know this is interesting how this discussion has become, male-female, but you seldom get to a point in guy friendships where you find toxic friendships. Seldom. Because your alignment didn't happen. Your alignment didn't happen.
So let me give you a scenario. Let's say you and your friend, one of you drinks more often than the other, and then he decides to quit. Would that influence the friendship?
Most cases, no. Because you respect the difference. Okay, I'm Muslim.
You go to therapy, your friend is skeptical about therapy.
So let's go back to the drinking example for a second. I'll talk about therapy. So I'm Muslim, I don't drink. I have friends who do. So if we're going out, they will ask me, is it okay if I order a drink? I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't mind. But never, ever in my entire life have they offered one to me. Because they already know that I don't drink. Don't have an issue. That's it. It's that simple. Tomorrow, this person decides to stop drinking. Okay. And another friend who doesn't drink decides to start drinking. Okay. I don't have an issue with it, right? But at the same time, because this is maybe not as controversial of an issue, but if I see one of my guy friends doing something stupid, mistreating his girlfriend, or whatever example you can think of, I'd be like, hey, bro, we need to have a conversation.
That's the accountability I'm talking about.
We need to have a conversation. Sit your ass down.
Yes.
This. Now, once that explanation has been done by me or another friend or whatever it is, if this person continues that incorrect behavior, we will cut off that friendship. And it will happen very organically, like, hey, bro, you're not willing to change on this. We're not willing to accept that behavior in our group. I have so many of my friends, the guys joke, right? But at any point, somebody cracks a joke that I find offensive or disrespectful to women, I'm like, guys, all joking aside, that piece wasn't cool. Can we tone it back a little? Sorry, bro, sorry, didn't mean to offend. I'm like, no, I didn't get offended. I'm just saying, let's not cross that line. No problem, bro, got you.
Nice.
So this type of accountability, why aren't we getting rid of these toxic friends?
I know I did already. No toxic friends
in
my life.
Let me
but I know I'll tell you why.
Why
because people are so scared. Because people are so scared to being alone. People are so scared to not being welcomed in someone's circle or activities. People they don't even want to be faced with the truth of, am I the wrong one? And when I say am I the wrong one, which means do I need to do some inner work? Most people don't want to do the inner work, because if I do the inner work, the amount of friends I'm gonna lose. It's reframing that story you're telling yourself. You're not losing shit. You're gonna make new friends. Not in the quantity, but in the quality of friends. Toxic friends, and toxic is a very overused word, and it's so heavy. So let's say healthy, unhealthy. An unhealthy friend, for example, if I wake up one day and come to you and say, honey, I decided to run a marathon. An unhealthy friend would make fun of this.
Yeah. And
would go above and beyond to not let that happen, because if Rahaf went on a marathon, I'm just using myself as an example, then who am I going for drinks with?
Or, oh my God, Rahaf is going on a marathon and I'm not.
I'm
so
not.
everyone's going to see that
She's
she's
achieving,
amazing and achieving,
I'm not.
and I'm not.
Exactly.
See, this hold you down culture is just so fucked up.
Did I tell you about the friend who stopped being my friend because she got into a relationship?
Wow, that's a thing.
It's a thing. And I was like, wait, what? We're doing this now? What?
I feel like such an ignorant
Because
man. It's
my
kind of
singleness might jinx her relationship, or it might actually make me feel jealous. She don't need that kind of energy in her life. And I was like, wallah, if you were a man, this would have never happened. Like,
no. It's not
so I don't know what it is.
I mean, we just make fun of the guy for a little while. Say, oh, you're not allowed to
yeah,
go
please
out.
stop doing that.
Yeah, but this is just done out of, just to bug the guy. It's not an issue.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear you.
I just would love to see more people considering looking inward and see, how can I be a better friend?
So one of the things that I realized over the years with a lot of friends that I had, moved in and out, but generally out towards the outer banks of the circles that I have. And I hadn't really thought about why I would do that, except for the fact that I just didn't feel that compatibility of all of these sort of things. So, a handful of years ago, I caught an episode, or maybe it was just a clip, of Brene Brown on the Oprah show talking about people who you can share your story with. Or, sorry, not who you can, who you should not. So people who do not deserve to hear your story.
Interesting.
Yes. And the first one, and I'll read them out to you, is the person who feels shame for you. This is an interesting one. The second one is the one who responds with sympathy rather than empathy. Yes. The third one, the one who is disappointed in your imperfections. Oof. So this is where a lot of judgment comes in, right? The one who is uncomfortable with your vulnerability. They don't want you to share things because they're like,
it makes them feel uncomfortable.
I'm not comfortable.
Yes.
You being vulnerable. The fifth one is the one who refuses to acknowledge your state of emotional feeling. They're like, no, you're not feeling what you're feeling.
Gaslighting.
Exactly.
We have a word for that.
Exactly. And the last one is the one who confuses your connections to opportunities to talk about themselves. This is a big one. And before we jump into this, I just want to say, guys, just Google, you'll find the video. But what you definitely should do is go buy her book. It's called Gift of Imperfections, Brene Brown. And I make it a point to, literally give a copy of this book to a lot of my friends. Like, okay, you know what?
I can get one.
Well, because you already know these things. So a lot of, and like I said, I knew this, I just didn't have it listed.
But you don't know how to name them or label them like this.
So literally, while I was watching, I was ticking them off in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, this. This is exactly why I have gotten rid of so many people from.
So speaking of this, could we stop as friends saying, I know how you feel when you actually don't?
Ooh, this is one of those, how are you doing today? I'm doing good.
I'm doing good.
The default answer that's supposed to be there.
Okay, because...
I want to go jump on the sixth point that got you a little fired up.
Yes.
People who confuse connection with the opportunity to talk about themselves.
Yes. And it fired me up because, God, when my dad died, all right, in 2010, the amount of people who came to me and said, my dad died this and that. My dad died this and that. And I was like, this is not the way you do this. If you think in your head that by doing this you're making me relate to you or vice versa, you're wrong, because now I hate you. Back then, like, this is about me, this is not about you. Or when women break up, well, in my breakup, it's not about you, it's about me. There's a line. There's a line and there's a skill on how to do this in a way that makes the person feel heard and not just dismissed. And it's common, not just friendships, but where it's also common? Parents.
Oh, yes.
When I was your age, I used to do this. What are you talking about? Stop doing this, because you remember our conversation why people don't speak up? This is one of the reasons, because I don't want shit like that. I don't want people to come to me and say, well, when I lost my dad, this is exactly how I got over it. Or why are you grieving that long? It doesn't need to take you that much. Khalas, shake it up. No.
This is exactly what she talks about.
Feelings. Not just grieve. But in my case, that was the thing that came to my mind, like, yes.
Yeah.
Or when I fractured my ankle, not my ankle, my elbow. People went like, when I did, Habibi, it's a different situation.
Yes.
My pain tolerance is different. It's different.
Yeah, but I didn't share the story to hear your story. I shared the story because it's my story.
There are two ways to do it. Either ask her permission. Would it make you feel better if I share how I went through that same or almost the same, a similar experience? And then when you take the permission, share that story. Maybe I need a distraction at that point, or maybe I need to hear that from a different perspective. If not, yes.
But Rahaf, on that also, a very, very, very particular nuance that's going to be very critical is this person is not sharing the story to help you. They're sharing the story to one-up your story. What would be a nice response
is the comparison sharing.
This is the comparison. They're one-upping.
Yes, no, that's different.
So you broke your elbow. I broke my collarbone, 10 years ago in a motorbike accident. So you breaking your elbow, I'm not going to jump in when my collarbone's hurt. I'll hear your story out, and they'll be like, I broke my bone a while ago. Can I share with you what helped feel better?
Yes.
And now I'm sharing the post experience of how I recovered, or what are some good tips on it. Not, hey, you're just
but that's a good point. The comparison part is that, why are you sad about this? Khalas. People have it worse.
Yeah, no. This is.
Could we stop saying that?
No. This is
because someone else's situation does not mean my situation is not important enough, or is not painful enough for me. It's not that I don't care about people's situations, but this is mine now, and what I feel at this moment is legit and valid. So you don't get to come and tell me, why are you feeling that way? It's none of your business. I do.
But see, this is why I love what Brene Brown said. These people aren't the people you're supposed to share with.
Oh, absolutely. But you have to learn that through experiences.
So now if I take that back to our discussion about friendship, this is yet another amazing way to identify people who should not be in your closer circle. Push them out, filter them, toss them over the edge, whatever it is that you do. Because at the end of the day, your physical and mental health are the single most important thing. And if you're not going to look after this, you're going to allow toxic people to influence you. Then we have a huge issue. And just to kind of wrap up and bring things full circle, there's so many sayings about this, but if you show me your 5 closest friends, I'll show you who you are. And the reason for this is...
In my case, I have 3.
Any number is good with me, right? But why? Because these people create a circle of influence. And that circle of influence, whether you admit it or not, will have an influence.
True.
This is human nature. We know this.
And sometimes it's okay to change those friends, because every journey, every stage of your life needs different people. So
that's the whole point that I told you earlier about. For me, I see it as a journey and the minutes. And throughout different points in my life, I've had different people who have been close friends to me, and we have maybe drifted apart because our journeys didn't overlap anymore, and that's okay.
Yes,
and that's okay. But just to kind of toss in the bro code bit, any one of those friends, if I pick up the phone and call now, they'll step up because bro code.
You had to do that.
I had to put that in.
What?
I think.
I'm one of the bros, though.
Well, I guess you are.
There you go.
You're one of the bros now. You're welcome on our side. I think the important thing to think about is to be self-aware, to understand who you are, understand what your journey is in life, and then think about the people that you have around you, the friends that you have. Why do you consider them friends? What about them is making you make them closer or further away? I think this needs to be an active process and not a passive process.
That's normalized. Once my friend, Monica, she came to me and she said, what do you like about me? I loved that question. I was
That's a great question. That's a
so
great
I had
question.
to, she heard it somewhere and she came like, what do you like about me? And I loved it. And I was like, wow, we should normalize asking each other that. Normalize having these kind of questions between friends. How can I be a better friend for you?
Ask me that question.
How can I be a better friend for you? Oh, the other one. What do you like about me?
What I like about you is how I feel when we're together. Because I feel at peace. And that to me is everything.
Well, thank you for sharing.
You are most welcome. And with that, tearful ending. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Make sure you catch the rest of our podcast. Bye-bye.
It's becoming a thing now.